Hi everyone, it's Mr. Wyman. What do you recognize about these three words? What do they have in common? You might say to yourself, well, all three of them are contractions, but not only that, they have something else in common. They're contractions using the word not, and that's what we're going to concentrate on today. I know it's a little negative, but what are contractions used for? They're used for shortening two words, right? But why would we ever do that? Well, I want to explain to you today that there are two types of language, or ways we use language. One is conversational. It's when we just talk with a friend or to an acquaintance. When we're talking to someone in person or even over the phone or in a video like this, we use a comfortable, natural, everyday language. There's another kind of language that we come across, and it's called literary language. Literary language is what's written in text. So what we would read in books, magazines, or even a slideshow like this. I want you to read this text to yourself. Now I'll read it out loud. Listen to how it sounds to your ears. When you are chatting with your friends, you do not say, "I cannot come over to play." It just sounds very formal. It's perfectly normal to read words that don't have contractions when you're reading them in text. But if you were to say this in person, what would be a more comfortable way of saying it? How about this? When you're chatting with your friends, you don't say, "I can't come over to play." See how my just talking that to you sounds like more comfortable? It's perfectly normal to read text lacking contractions. The word lacking means missing, or it does not have contractions. But that's not how we talk in everyday life. It wouldn't feel right saying out loud, "It would not feel correct if we did not use contractions." It simply is not proper to ignore the vernacular. Vernacular means everyday talk, the way we talk with each other. So while we might read, "The child is not interested in comic books. He cannot explain the reason. While he has tried reading them, they could not hold his attention as much as chapter books." What we say is this: "The boy isn't very interested in comic books. He can't say why. He's tried reading them, but they couldn't hold his attention." You've probably seen or played the game Memory or Concentration, where you have to, all the cards are face down, and you turn one over, and then you try to remember where you saw that same picture before, and you turn over another card, and if it is the same, then you can take those away from the game and put them together. You're going to play a version of that, but using contractions and the two words that make up the contraction. You should have been given a few papers that have the cards for your contraction concentration game on them. You will be cutting out those cards. Go ahead and match them up so that you can identify the contraction with the two words that make up the contraction before playing the game. Then put them all face down and play the game as you would a normal memory or concentration game. Turn over one card at a time and try to remember where its match is. And when you get a match, put it over to the side. Go ahead and play it a few times, identifying what two words make up the contraction. Now, here's a twist. With each match, on the second time that you play the game, try saying sentences using the two words without making a contraction and the same two words but using a contraction. So for instance, I could not think of any sentences using the contraction couldn't. Do you see what I did there? I used both in my sentence. Both of these two cards that are in this image. Have fun and good luck learning your contractions.